This gridlock cannot be solved by simply pouring concrete for one more lane. It is a systemic failure. In 1967, planners C. West Churchman and Horst Riddle gave this specific type of entangled failure a name: the wicked problem. A wicked problem lacks a single identifiable root cause, and as a result, it possesses no definitive single solution. These issues are interconnected. Attempting to fix a localized aspect often inadvertently triggers a cascading failure, generating a new problem elsewhere in the system. Standard public issues typically resolve through linear action. If a community needs a new school, government funding and basic planning get it built. Wicked problems resist traditional interventions. Treating these crises as moral failings or knowledge deficits ensures failure, disregarding the inherent inertia of human behavior. This behavioral inertia carries a quantifiable cost. We can see the scale of the impact by looking at health data from the United States. This table outlines specific public health failures. Every year, an estimated 5,000 infants are born with fetal alcohol syndrome. Behavioral prevention gaps appear elsewhere, like the 70. In social marketing, the product is a human habit. We sell this along 4 vectors: accepting a new behavior, rejecting an undesirable one, modifying a current habit, or abandoning an entrenched behavior. The transaction cost in this market is high. The target audience does not pay with money, but with psychological friction and physical effort. Adopting vehicle seatbelts required a price in physical friction and the disruption of a deeply ingrained driving routine. Because the currency is personal effort, social marketing must aggressively lower the perceived friction of adopting the new behavior. Lowering that friction requires us to redefine competition. We are not fighting a rival corporation for market share. Instead, the primary competitor is the target audience's current behavior and the immediate, powerful comfort it provides. To categorize these behavioral competitors, marketers use the types of demand framework shown here. Unwholesome demand occurs when the target audience actively seeks out a harmful product. Breaking this demand requires demarketing. The intervention must overcome both the chemical addiction and the cultural identity associated with the habit. Negative demand occurs when the audience avoids a beneficial service because it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. Diagnosing whether a behavior faces unwholesome or negative demand dictates the structure of the entire marketing intervention. This diagnostic approach distinguishes social marketing from standard public awareness or health education. Education focuses on increasing knowledge, which often proves ineffective against human indifference or structural barriers. It is also distinct from corporate social responsibility, which is aimed at brand philanthropy rather than behavioral engineering. Alan Andreasen defined social marketing as a change management technology. This diagram illustrates the alignment required to facilitate behavioral exchange. Resources and incentives must flow between corporate marketing, civil society, and policymaking to create a supportive environment. Citizens sit at the center, exchanging an old behavior for tangible societal benefits. Social marketing is a systemic orchestration of policy, corporate resources, and civil incentives, designed to facilitate a voluntary behavioral exchange. How do these individual behavior changes scale to solve the wicked problems introduced at the start? We track success through a 4-tiered hierarchy, beginning with engagement. Connecting with a concept or advertisement is the prerequisite step, but not the ultimate goal. The next tier is behavior, which requires a measurable alteration in a physical action. When these individual shifts achieve critical mass, they scale into a widespread, self-sustaining social norm. A social norm acts as a powerful and positive contagion, fundamentally altering how a society operates on a daily basis. The apex is well-being, translating these norms into data-driven improvements in health and environmental outcomes. Shifting the metric from individual awareness to structural well-being separates marketing from education. A final comparison locks in the framework between these two disciplines. This slide highlights the divergent objectives of commercial and social marketing. Commercial marketing's bottom line is long-term financial gain. Social marketing's bottom line is the generation of individual or social gain. Despite these divergent end goals, the mechanical tools, market segmentation, the 4 Ps, and exchange theory are identical. Social marketing functions as a structural inversion. It hijacks the profit-driven frameworks of global consumption to engineer the cure for its societal consequences.